Hey Leo, this is EJ from Taurota Tarot. Hope everybody's having a good start to their week. I apologize for getting my How's Your Money, How's Your Honey out so late this month. But my regular gig has been a pain in the ass. I don't need to say anything else. Leo, I hope y'all are doing well. This is your How's Your Money, How's Your Honey. We do 3 for the money, 3 for the honey, 1 for overall energy, and 3 for guidance from the universe. And of course, at the end, I will pull an oracle card from the Trust Your Vibes Oracle deck. Let me cut this down because that sounds loud to me. Shake these up and cut them. So this is for Leo. How's your money? How's your honey? A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So Leo, let's get started and see what we got going on for the March-April time. How's your money? How's your honey? So your first card for your money is the Hangman. Second card is the 5 of Cups. Third card is the 7 of Swords. For your honey row, 10 of Swords. Oh, the Lover's card. And the 5 of Swords. And from underneath the bottom of the deck, boom, 9 of Coins. Trying to set that higher standard. All right, Leo, let's see what's going on with you. See what's going on with your money and your honey. So with your money, it looks like you've had a change of perspective on some stuff pertaining to how you were looking at your finances. It feels like you were unsure, Leo, about some things, but you cleared them up. You maybe had to make a budget, or maybe had to take out a loan, or some other such thing, but you changed your perspective on it, and it seems like for that little piece of financial planning, as it were, you got through that part. But then you get to the 5 of Cups, and I don't know if somebody put you on a budget that was so tight you're just miserable because you can't spend anything. Oh man, I got that restrictive. It's a real restrictive feeling, like you have money but you can't, because you're trying to save for something or plan for something, but in the meantime you're almost not living because you're busy trying to do this. With the 7 of Swords next to that, I would take that as a sign of maybe needing to loosen up a little bit on what you're doing with your money, so that you don't feel so restricted. So yeah, with the 7 of Swords here, you need to rethink your strategy. Swords is that intellectual, air, brainy energy, Aquarian, Gemini, Libra energy. Maybe you need to rethink your strategy. And I'm definitely getting a feel for that. Your overall energy being the 9 of Coins, it's about setting that higher standard, particularly with your funds. Yes, you're trying to do that, but you can't do it if you're saving so much money, or let me just give it to you as it's resonating back. If you're saving for a trip, some kind of family function, maybe over the summer or towards the fall of this year, I get it, but if it's to the point where you're miserable during the week, go back and relook at your strategy and look and see if do you have to save all $800 every pay period, or can you revise that while still with your overall energy trying to maintain that higher standard. That you're saving at all, that you even have a strategy to rethink about your finances is awesome, Leo. But keep creating that higher standard. I know it's tight. You can go back and look at something and maybe not save as much, so you can at least have a little breathing room between paychecks. I'm just saying, while you can still create that standard. Again, that you're even, it's a thought about having a strategy for your money. Come on now. So don't feel like, you're a failure because you're not able to save as much or do it as quickly. Whatever it is that you're planning with your finances, and this is linked up with your sweetie too. So I'm guessing this is some kind of trip that you want to take with husband, wife, significant other, date, whatever. They may be an air sign because you've got 3 air cards on the table: the 7 of Swords at the end of your money row, the 10 of Swords at the beginning of your honey row, and the 5 of Swords at the end of your honey row. So you may, not everybody, but you may be dealing with Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, or someone who has those energies in their natal chart. Coming out of the thing with your money, re-strategizing, it looks like your significant other is just stressed out. They got shit coming from everywhere, and these aren't little problems. These are big problems, and the energy can be reversed. Maybe if you are a Leo and you've got some air energy in your sign, this may be you, very small amount of you maybe, but this looks like this is your partner, and they are just they're under it. They are just going through it. They're paying bills, they're working. Some of you may have partners that are doing all of that and going to school or taking care of kids. They are under it. So I think the message here is probably to give your sweetie some space and let them figure out what they need to figure out. Some of their issues are financial as well, and that may be some of the other place where I feel that restrictive energy. Like, you guys can't really just go have dinner somewhere or date night because you really are down to the grind, but your partner is feeling it a lot differently. You're here, you're up in the head with it here, they're up in the head with it here, and they just feel like everything is coming at them at the same time. You're trying to re-strategize on your finances, but this can be also with your partner. If you're in a committed relationship and you have joint finances, you may need to also re-strategize, coming back to the honey row, because your partner is just feeling like they are trying to do it all, and a lot of this is in their head. But you know, what people perceive is what they believe. So if they perceive they're carrying it or doing it all and having to manage a lot of stuff, they can feel like this. So Leo, the word to you about your partner: give them some space. Give them some space. There is a piece here between the two of you where some choices need to be made. Not necessarily making a choice to keep a person, to stay or go. Not that kind of choice. But it may be a choice where you may have to relocate because of a job, or your partner may have to relocate because of a job. You may be thinking about changing houses, maybe staying in the same area but moving out. But there's a choice that you have to make, and in that choice between the two of you, and let me back this up and say, this is not going to resonate with everybody. This has a real strong feeling of people that are in connected relationships that are long term. So this may not be for you, and if it's not, that's okay. But the feeling here is that there's some sacrifices that are going to have to be made in order to, again, and I hear something, maybe somebody saving for a house. You're going to have to rethink the strategy on how you're saving the money so you can live from paycheck to paycheck. Your partner's going to have to get out of their head so they can help and not feel so overwhelmed like everything is coming from every single direction. But those choices, the sacrifices attached to those choices. So if you decide, instead of just hypothetically saving $800 every pay period, you may in turn decide to save $600, and that may mean you have to delay your trip. There's a choice and a sacrifice. You may decide that you don't want to take that trip at that particular time. Again, there's a choice, there's a sacrifice. You don't take it at that time, you'll do it later, you'll do it sooner. Either way, it's still a choice and a sacrifice. So it's the Lover's card is not so much talking about the two of you as it is talking about the two of you making choices that may require you to sacrifice your time, your effort. You may have to be away from each other for a minute. But at the end of all of that, may have to change that attitude too. So either one of you, Leo, it may be you, it may be your partner, but you may have to just change your attitude. With the Hangman over here, as I said, from the money roll, with it being about you having changed your perspective, I'm also not blind to the fact that you may need to also change your perspective on how you guys are working your money and the sacrifices and the choices that you're making. Again, this is you all trying to create that higher standard. You know, you're not just putting the flour in the pot and setting it down somewhere and hoping it waters and feeds itself. No, you are taking care of your stuff and you're trying to make it better than what it is. That's your overall energy. So I don't see any real problems in the relationship. It's just a matter of you guys making some choices about work and love. And, you know, is it okay? Can we put the relationship on the back burner and just go on autopilot for a couple months so we can start saving money and doing something else? Those are the kinds of questions I hear. Let me see what the universe has for guidance for you, Leo. Death card. 8 of Wands. Okay, so that's kind of clear. The 2 of Wands. So Leo, those last two are your energy. That's fire energy. But the Death card, especially that it landed right next to the Hangman up here in your money, in your money row, is telling me that not only are you going to have to make some transformation with your money, that's what death is, but you are also going to have to, you're probably, Leo, going to have to be the one that puts on the granny panties and becomes the adult and just makes an executive decision about what you're going to do about your finances and how that's going to play into what's going on with your lover. If it means you need to pick up some night shifts at the hospital over the weekend and you can't see each other for a while, it may mean that, but understand it's transformation and you need to do this so you are not quite as out of balance as you are. That's not to say you way out of balance, but your focus is so much on your money. You need to get your money in a place. You need to transform it. Transform how you make that complete transformation. Be the mature one, Leo, and figure out, okay, we're going to do this. It's killing us to save $5,000 every paycheck. We're only going to do 2. So make that executive decision. You may have to make it on behalf of your partner, because, again, your partner's right here like, oh, Jesus, please just do something, help. That's the energy that's coming back from that overwhelmed, everything coming from every direction. So just realize, Leo, you may have to be the one, especially where the finances are concerned. You may have to be the one to say, look, I'm going to do this so we can have this at this later date and just roll with it. This is fast communication. Universe is saying that to me very loudly with the 8 of Wands. So you're going to enter a period here in the next couple of weeks where it's going to be you, your supervisor, your partner. Okay, she said I could work Saturday and Sunday. What you think? Okay, I can do Saturday and Sunday, but I can't do Tuesday. However this is resonating with you, Leo, you hear what I'm saying to you. However it's resonating, but this is going to come quick. So you need to, whatever strategizing you need to do about your finances, whatever choices you need to make, the sacrifices you need to make, you ain't got all day. This is going to come boom, boom, boom. If I'm hearing it right, somewhere between the 1st and the middle of April, you should know what the plan is with the game, the revised, transformed, perspective changed strategy. You may need to, you may have to just get it on the fly. You may have to make some decisions, and it may mean that you're making a decision and you may not actually have time to consult your partner. So if you know this is coming, start talking now. You may need to take extra hours. They may need to, another job, however that's resonating for you. At the end of all of this, when you get through this little chunk, the universe is telling me to tell you, slow down and go back to the drawing board and look at if what you are aspiring to is realistic at this point. If you were trying to get into a $250,000 house, just as an example, Leo, and you know you only been approved for $150,000 and you do drive yourself crazy trying to come up with another $100,000 in a year, okay, it's doable, but is it practical? Is that the reality of the situation? Can you grind that hard for 12 months with no interruption, not getting sick, no vacation time, none of that, and get that money? And if the real answer is, oh, hell no, then let that be the real answer. Don't jump off into some shit just because it sounds right now. And don't forget, we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde until the end of next week. So we're talking about somewhere between 26th and the 28th. I would say until April 1st. That gives Mercury a chance to station and start its forward motion again. So you may need to, and I'm going to say it's not even a may need to, you will need to come back. And you're going to have to do it all over. You go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And that's all this energy right here, and the universe is just confirming. Strategy, choices and sacrifices. Keep creating that higher standard. It's doable, Leo. Whatever you're trying to do is doable. But you may just be, again, you might have to change that perspective. This may not just be about you changing the perspective on one part of something that you did in the past. It very well could be you need to change your perspective now about your money. So you can do this and go back and just re-look at it and redo what needs to be redone. If the whole thing needs to be scrapped, that's okay too. Universe is saying you got it. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, as long as it's realistic, it should be fine. If you're trying to accomplish some incredible feat right now, it may be a lot more difficult than you think. Let's see what the Oracle cards have for you, Leo, for March and April. How's your money? How's your honey? Aura cleanse. You're going to go, what the hell that got to do with my finances? Everything. Everything. For those of you that are my little spiritual beagles, you know what this is. And you know how it affects everything. For those of you that don't, when your aura is fuzzy, hazy, foggy, you become hazy and foggy, and it becomes very difficult to make clear decisions. Not an inappropriate card to pop up during a Mercury retrograde. I would suggest, if you are unfamiliar with how to do an aura cleanse, it would take me an hour to sit here and go through all the different ways you can do it. Get on Google it, and see what you can do. The best thing that I can suggest as a tip, just a monthly tip, always keep some kosher salt, coarse kosher salt in the house, and sprinkle it at your door. It will help detox you. It'll help when you walk through the threshold of your house. So if you use your back door all the time to go in and out, and you want to use the front door for company, yeah, definitely get some salt down there for the front door. But as you clean your house, as you mop your kitchen or whatever, wherever that door is that you will use all the time, once a month, just go through there and shake some of that salt out. It will help you cleanse your aura. It's not an aura cleanse, but it's a good way to get it started. It's also a good way to help get toxic shit that you may be schlepping in from work. Because a lot of times we make decisions just going back, Leo, and I know y'all like, okay, hurry up. But for real, going back, when you have to go back and re-strategize, and if you've got a lot of shit you schlepping around that you're not really even aware of, it can affect how you make these kinds of decisions. And I'm going to say, if you've had to change your perspective on some part of your finances, if you're in a spot where you need to be, excuse me, making choices about sacrifices for love, it won't hurt you to do this. It will not hurt you to do this, because this will help you attract the things that you need to attract. Hello, trying to strategize on that money. It'll also help you keep your connection clear with your partner. Google it, y'all. Leo, I love you. Excuse me. I hope you guys have a great week, a great end of the month, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.